Cutter.
Ooh, what is up, fellas? How
Yo.
are we doing today?
Man, another day in paradise, my friend.
And we are
Paradise.
Who?
Bart.
Bart? Dude, I'd like to go see Bart. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen Bart live. Bart's like H-Town legacy, man. Like that's old school. Young Guns. CageStore.net.
Did you get on that?
check.
Yeah. I'm waiting on some responses.
Barry didn't respond to me.
Wow, man, it's been like
Oh, did you
48
ask him to?
hours.
He didn't respond to me yet either. Yeah, he hasn't read mine yet. Though.
Time to take action.
That's a no thanks to both of you guys, man. I mean,
I think-
I think it could be chalked up to coincidence. Okay, yeah, he just hadn't seen it yet, but both
No, he
of
saw
y'all,
mine.
yeah, damn, so he's leaving y'all on red.
When you look it up, I mean,
That's a
is
no
it
thanks.
available? You might just be able to go to GoDaddy and get
I
it.
wouldn't do that. I think he's got it parked. But I mean, he owns the name. We had an LLC and everything. Like he owns.
So why did he quit?
Yeah, why aren't we doing
I
something
mean,
like
on
that?
an honest reason.
Who quits
An
business?
honest reason is that
There's no money in it?
That's what he had told me, that he wasn't making no money.
Yeah, he wasn't making any money compared to what it cost to run it. And then the support at that time, well, everybody wanted to go to the website. Do y'all remember? We did an award show, like an actual award show for the CageStore.net.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this online because somebody's going to go in there and steal our idea.
And nobody wanted to, like, we didn't barely sold any tickets. Nobody wanted to go. And
Y'all sold tickets? Oh, tickets to the award show.
yeah,
See,
If you
I
want-
didn't know.
if
I
you
didn't
wanna
know
s-
about that. I saw the awards.
yeah.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
but we could incorporate that into the Fury FC Christmas party at the end of the year.
What's a Fury FC Christmas party?
It's this new thing we're trying out.
It's something new.
The new thing.
We used to do that. We did that back in the day
So
before things blew up and
So,
Well,
yeah.
I want a bigger one. with
got busy.
I want like 200 people in that.
You want
Man,
like
DJ,
naked sushi
You know,
girls
It'd
and
be
stuff.
like Office Christmas party. You seen that movie?
Have you seen Mick's old Christmas parties?
No.
Yeah, camels and shit.
The only Christmas that makes the party.
Yeah.
Mick
true.
is the
Dude,
party.
camels.
That's true.
Did he get the Iron Sheik? Try the camel.
Hey,
That'd have been awesome.
R.I.P.
I mean, the Cage Store was fun. It was cool. It was a lot of work. And honestly, for me at that time,
What was your role?
so me and Barry founded it.
Look at Wayne. Why are you laughing?
Nothing, man. You look. I know you want me to chime in on that. I'm letting him talk. I'm laying out.
So Barry and I founded the CageStore.net.
Okay.
Matter of fact, like I had this idea. I was training at Militich here at that time, and nobody was covering Houston MMA. Nobody.
Well, they had
Like,
Texas MMA.
yeah.
I felt like when the Cage Door popped in, the Texas MMA side got pissed.
A little bit, yeah. Like, but
Really-
Paul,
But
Paul
Cage Door was first, though, wasn't it?
no. TXMMA dated that.
Are they
way-
still around?
I think so. I really don't know. I'm
I've
gonna try it
never
now.
seen
I was part of
anything.
TXMMA.
The problem with like TXMMA is, let's say they're around. If they still are around, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything on there about Fury?
God, well, they haven't updated since 2020.
There you go.
I was part of TXMMA.
Have you
I did the
searched
video.
Fury FC on there? Is there anything?
Yeah, Fury FC 8 top fighters to
Is that-
watch, still at the top. Look at that.
Ooh, check out those graphics, Rich
Larry
Burmaster.
Crow, Trevin Giles, Keeney, and Ike Villanueva.
Kyle Keeney.
They used to have Smashburger as a.
I know.
Uh-huh.
We used to do weigh-ins there.
So, check out this card. Listen to this card real quick. Here's your pro card. Trevin Giles, Larry Crow, Kyle Keeney, Ike Villanueva, Colton England, EJ Turner, Scotty Juarez, Cody Williams, Mike Trin, Randy McCullough, Javier Obregon versus Domingo Pilarte, James Gonzalez, Cameron Graves, Edward Longoria, Daniel Turner, and then Zamora.
All pro or is that?
That was your pros. Your Emmys of note were Tony Orozco Jr., Alonzo Sanchez, Ronnie Byerly, that Kimura tattoo baby out there, Timothy Messer. Remember Timothy Messer? Robert Perez, Jose Reyes, and Jan Diglov. I remember when he was fighting
Jan
too.
was pretty good.
So-
Who in the pro side? I heard some UFC guys.
Yeah, Ike Villanueva, Trevin Giles,
Domingo.
and Domingo Pilarte.
What's
Yeah.
the date on that?
Man,
card?
this was Fury 8.
Yeah,
so
that was
this
forever
is
ago.
2000, let's see,
Like 16, 15,
October
16?
9th, 2015. So this is still, for whatever reason, this was. I don't know what the deal here is, but so TXMMA was around before we were there
What's
with
that grappling?
Fight to Win San Antonio and a pest control ad.
Hey, pop-ups.
Yeah,
Fight to Win 15.
they were around first, but they weren't really covering Houston MMA. There wasn't a lot going on in Houston,
Right.
and I was really just starting to get more involved with Make at that time. So this is like 08, 09, somewhere around that time. I forget what exactly how it overlapped. And I went to Barry and I said, man, I'd like to like do some interviews and make a website. And he was the only guy I knew who made websites. And so for those who don't know, Barry's got dude has got one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life outside of like what he does. When I met him, he was slinging t-shirts. He was running like infrastructure for computer systems for like the city of Houston. Like the dude is super smart, super brilliant. And I went to him, I was like, hey, I want to build a website. And he was like, yeah, I'll charge you X amount of dollars. I was like, I don't want to fucking build a website. And I kept kind of hitting him up. I was like, man, he's like, why don't you go in with this with me? Why don't you help me run it, do part of this? Because I don't know how to do any of that. Like,
He didn't know shit about MMA.
not really. Yeah, not really at all.
Did he train and stuff?
No, not at that time. So like he didn't know anything about it then. And one day I had bugged him a little bit about it, and we were friends through this radio for me and Raheel being at 1560, and we were all like, Barry was a listener, I was a listener. We had all these parties we'd go to, and that's how we met each other. And so I was driving back from New Orleans. It was the middle of the night, and I called him. I said, "Hey man, I could really use your help with this website." You know, he's like, "What are you going to call it?" And I was like, "The Cage Door."
It's a great name.
It was just off the top of my head. I was like,
That's
"The Cage
awesome
Door."
name.
Dude, he got quiet for like a half a second. Goes, "I'm in." And like he loved the name. Like he loved the name.
It's a great
And then
name.
of course we couldn't get .com. Like we had to get
There's
.net.
.net,
Yeah,
yeah.
somebody had .com and they wanted like, let's say it's $1,000 for it. We were like,
Yeah.
"Ugh."
that was like 10,000 back then, right?
Like a
So
web-
we can get to cagedoor.net for
yeah.
$18.
So
Yeah.
Barry created the website, and the first interview we did was Chad Robichaux. Barry went out to Gracie Baja and sat there and waited for him to do his classes, did all that stuff. And then our second and third interviews were Jace Petrie and
I remember
Andrew
when
Craig.
y'all came over there and did that.
Jace
You know,
Petrie and Andrew
Chad
Craig.
was the first fighter that got me interested in Legacy because he was a Marine. So, and I started watching that.
We started making the site, and it blew up so fast.
Y'all were just building it little by little, though.
Yeah, but we really couldn't keep up with the demand. Like our goal at first was let's post weekly. And then it became, man, let's post a couple times a week. Now it's we got to post every day. And then we had rankings, and then we had all this stuff.
That's what's hard. That's where it gets hard is the rankings and stuff. But like, there's no website right now that has every promotion's weigh-in pictures, fight
There's
photos.
not, but
nothing.
The problem with that is at that time it was basically just Barry and I running to every event,
Yeah.
and that was at a time where Houston had multiple events going
Right.
on.
Yeah.
You know, like there were
Yeah.
still other people, and it was really hard. Like first of all, we had to get them to let us in.
Right.
Yeah.
Some places didn't want to let us in at first. The guy, I mean, honestly, Mick welcomed us with open arms. Open arms. He was like, "Yeah, good fuck, come on in," and it was 3 other sites were doing stuff, and then we started growing, started getting bigger and bigger. And then the 2 things I remember that stood out to me that were like, I couldn't believe how big we had got was we made a shirt that said, "What would Joe Rogan do?" And it had Joe Rogan's face on it, and the select few people got it. And like Barry got an email from Joe Rogan, not like Joe Rogan's agent or like Joe Rogan sent him an email basically saying, "You guys can't fucking do this." What are
Yeah,
y'all doing?"
that's my
Yeah,
name and
yeah.
likeness. You can't
And
have
Barry
that.
tried to give him like, "Hey, we'll donate a certain percentage to charity or whatever." I don't know whatever happened with that. And then I forget who told this. It might have been, but every morning at that time, Joe Silva he'd go through his list of websites where he was like, just see what's going on around the nation for fighters, and the Cage Door was one of the sites he went to every day.
Nice.
And it was like, what? For real? And we got to cover, dude, we covered Strike Force, we covered DC's first fights, we covered the UFC when they came here. Like it was really cool, but it's a lot of work. You know, as you see, we just are running our own stuff. It's a lot of work. We fall behind all the time trying to do stuff. So we ended up bringing on some more people. We hired Mike Columbus.
He works for Texas.
He worked for us first. So he came to work for us. and he really didn't have a lot of experience with photography at that time. He had some, like he definitely had some experience, and he had another website. I think it was like DC something. I can't remember what it was called, but he had websites like him and his friends, and then he trained at Elite. Mike's been around a long time, trained at Elite as well. He came on with us, and then AJ Hoffman came in, and we kept bringing in more people. And then honestly, I left first. I left just because of I couldn't keep up with the workload, and I was falling behind with like my life and my regular job.
And you weren't getting paid nothing.
Not really. Yeah, not really at all. And we could see like where it was going, and it was kind of like you and I talk about, like how much were you going to keep investing into it to get it over that hump. Right. And it just honestly became a burden between Barry and I. Like our friendship was getting tested because of, hey man, you didn't do this, or you didn't get this done, or are you, and honestly, he did so much of the work because so much of it was technical stuff that I mean, at that time I couldn't upload to a website. I would go take pictures, I'd edit the pictures, and I'd send them to him. I'd write an article maybe, but he did most of it. Like he was the driving force when it got big. Like Barry was the driving force behind that. And, like it made sense. So I forget what hurricane it was.
Ike.
It was Ike, because I remember we boarded up our house, and I had wrote shit like on the outside, like, hey, Ike, you hit Katrina. You hit Tina. Don't hit us. Shit like that all on the outside. And it knocked down my fence. And I remember I was talking with Barry, and he was like, well, how much do you want for your part of the website? And I was looking at this quote from my fence dude, and I was like, this much. He's like, no problem. I'm like, okay, got my fence fixed. Cool.
Man.
So
you should have asked higher. You should have doubled that estimate.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it was a monster. But at that time, everybody knew what the Cage Store was. Everybody wanted to go see pictures. Yeah. And nobody picked it up after that.
So one of the biggest things as an MMA fan was your post-fight interviews. With the cool intro, with the 300. The 300.
That's all Barry, dude. That's all Barry's creative ass. Like,
and there's nowhere to see none of that shit no more, huh?
No. So for a while,
it was up still.
For years, Barry was paying
just to keep it going,
for like just keeping things archived and stuff. And at a certain point, it became like, why is he still doing this? Like
it was all old shit that people had seen. The same
old stuff. People had seen it. And you can go to some like Wayback Machines and like see archive websites and see
YouTube has a lot of them.
Yeah, and I've actually got, where a place you can go, Vimeo. If you go to Vimeo,
okay,
there's fights that we posted on there. Like I want to say Jesus Rivera, Jace Petrie's on there. I want to say Ray Trujillo, Jesus Rivera. Like there's a bunch of cool fights that are still on that Vimeo. And right after that, it's there was some new owners came in. It was AJ and Barry owned it. I want to say Connor Hogan had a part of it. I really don't recall if that was true. Cody Phillips at one point was a part of it. It was this big Houston thing, but MMA scene is so weird. Like it's so weird how what people will support to a certain degree. Like you can create this amazing shirt. Like look at the shirts we got. We got these heavy metal racket shirts. They're absolutely amazing. I don't know how much Houston MMA actually goes out and purchases like the stuff to support the people who are in town. Yeah. At least at that time they did.
FC gear.
Everybody wanted to rock the gear, but they didn't want to buy the gear.
And they wanted free shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it sucks. It sucks because I think the people who miss it the most are the fighters and the fight fans. But as we talked about, we got some stuff in the works. We're looking at trying to help revamp that scene. I think there is a lot of, obviously there's a potential because there's nobody doing it. Like where would you go right now to look at you can go to, what is it? Combat Coverage, the guys that come out.
Yeah.
And there's more video stuff.
They don't cover us.
Yeah, they do. They're every day. They're there every show.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas Gulf Coast
Combat
TV.
HQ. My bad. Combat HQ.
Coverage don't cover us.
Yeah,
Texas
no,
Gulf
don't.
Coast could do that.
You're thinking of Cody and
all-
his thing, yeah.
Right.
Combat
Yeah,
You're
Sports
FC
HQ.
loyal, you know what I'm saying?
It's just
I'm a cult follower.
it's hard. It's a really hard gig to run a website like that.
Yeah,
and nowadays you have to, So like I was looking at laying out what it would take. Like, dude, like there's a lot to it because now you also have to include, dude, are you on TikTok? Are you monetizing TikTok? Are you on YouTube monetizing that? Are you like there's so many things you have to run to monetize them outside of just having a website. And now you got to have writers, you got to have an editor, you got to have a content creator person who goes through and makes sure your analytics are done correctly. And there's a lot to it. I can understand why people haven't jumped into that because it's very much thankless. A lot of people go back and you see it all the time. People post on Barry's page, man, like bring back the CageStore.net. And we all do is kind of funny. Like every now and then I'll make a post, just got off the phone with Barry Laminack, get ready to bring back that Cage Store. Of course I'll get a fuck you text or something like that from him. But it's very thankless, man. And I think when the award show didn't go the way, like we canceled it. He didn't do the award show because we didn't sell any tickets for it. And when that went down,
where were y'all going to do that at?
I'm trying to remember where he had.
It would have been dope to do it at the Arena Theater.
He had an event place that he was looking at doing it, and
well, how much were the tickets?
They were like $50.
Oh yeah, people should have jumped off. I would have went.
Yeah,
I would have bought them.
Yeah,
a lot of the general public will balk at a $50
and I
price
could be
tag,
wrong.
though.
It could have been even lower than that. It might not even been that much.
Well, let's just say they're $25. I mean, you get to go see it.
That's what people want to spend like $10, $20
Man,
on
they
a
had.
ticket.
They were going to do awards. They were going.
You get what you pay for, though. If you want a good quality event, I mean, there's cost involved with that.
Dress nice, come out there, and like, hey, we'll do end of the year awards, bring people up, and it never came to fruition. And if we end up, I would love to in a concept if we were to bring this type of stuff back together. I'd love to see like a yearly award show being done. Mm-hmm. You know, hand a mic to Barry and come out there and like MC the night and stuff. If you notice, Barry doesn't get into Houston MMA anymore. Like,
bitch.
You mean we wouldn't bring Justin in?
Yeah. Well, we'd let Bernard do the second half. Yeah, the important part. Listen, y'all never seen they've had two people do shit. Like I'm not saying Wayne wouldn't do anything.
No.
Hey,
Barry. No.
I'm like, so
that would be so much fun. I'd love to do something with
to
Barry.
that.
Hey, how can you get the Ring Announcer of the Year award if you're announcing the show?
Yeah, just present it and give it to myself. Dude, that's never been done.
That'd
be awesome.
That would actually be.
And the winner is. Yeah, that'd be great.
You'd be like,
Oh god, I could do such a promo with that too.
Oh, dude.
it'd be like Snoop Dogg. I just want to thank myself.
Something along those lines, but that'd be hilarious.
Still, one of my favorite like award quotes, I guess, is Kanye when he's like, "Well, what would it be like if you didn't win? Guess we'll never know."
That's awesome.
I love that. So yeah, I'm hoping somebody picks up that mantle, man. Like, there's so much content now, dude. There is so much to do.
Someone's trying.
You could just cover Fury. You could just cover Fury and be busy as fuck.
Yes.
We are.
Like
it is. Yeah.
We are.
just running our stuff. We are so busy and constantly feel like we're playing a game of catch up.
We would literally have to dive into every promotion in the state, unless we left it strictly Houston.
Well, you remember we were just Houston.
Oh, yeah.
We ventured outside of Houston for some stuff when Legacy started venturing outside of it. We even did we did a fight to win, where Barry and I, as the Cage Door guys, went and helped run a fight to win.
I mean, so I don't see us if we did just Houston. I don't see it being too difficult. There's only a few of us here.
I'll show you my doc.
I don't see it being too difficult. Anybody could do it.
Anybody can do it.
Dude, I could do
Call
anything.
Barry.
That's why nobody's done it.
Right.
Hey, shout out to Barry Laminack, man. You don't see him come out anymore to fights, and I hope
I made him hate the fight game
to a degree. Yeah, I really hope one day.
He's so emotionally scarred. He turned to comedy.
I hope he enjoys it again one day, man.
Yeah,
he really is. Have y'all seen Barry stand up?
I've seen clips here and there.
Funny. He's funny, man. You guys should go out. See, nobody supports you, motherfucker. Y'all should go out. Like he's very, very funny.
Hey, we got to find out when he's going to be in town doing that.
He goes to the Improv,
and then we can
just
do that.
Up.
Yeah,
we should
take the crew, mic up, like we're talking about doing.
Show up, not tell them that we're gonna.
Yeah, 100%.
Just fucking boo him.
He's probably at Improv this weekend. He does that shit.
Yeah,
all right. So,
Reed have a show this weekend?
Do we want to go
on
see
Saturday.
Reed's show, or do we want to go Huckleberry?
We can go Huckleberry on Friday.
I'm your Huckleberry,
dude.
That's a great movie.
Hey, Barry's. I don't know if it was his first. I went to maybe his his first few times he did comedy, and I threw panties at him at one event downtown, and then we went to one. It was in this like creepy basement of a school. And there was like maybe 12 people, and me and like AJ Hoffman.
BarryLaminack.com.
BarryLaminack.com. BarryIsFunny.com. Check him out. Let's see. Let's give some shout outs to some upcoming shows here. Shulman's Movie Bowl and Grill at Sherman, Bayou City, Corsicana, Spring, Texas, Comedy Night at Hop Scholar. Dude, these dudes are everywhere.
Hey, there we go. Is that the 29th?
At Hop Scholar, it's a bar, I think. Yeah.
The 29th of this month?
Yeah.
There we go.
What is that? What's Hop Scholar?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it, but
Oh, we got the Fight Pass Invitational.
that's July 20th. It looked like it was July.
yeah.
It looked like it was July 29th.
Hang on, man.
Whenever you clicked on it, and then now you're on something else.
Yeah, July
29th. So.
July 29th. So
Yeah, that's right, D. Let's go.
we're sure.
Barry has no fucking idea who we are, so whenever we heckle him, we get thrown out. We need Rich's and Eric's credibility to stay in the show.
What do we have July 29th? Anything?
I don't think so. We got something coming up.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sure.
it's starting.
Oh, look at this dude.
You ain't even put no howler in there. That
Hey,
was
so-
all coke.
I was gonna ask.
So that long ass introduction is brought to you by Howlerhead Whiskey.
Bam.
Make sure you get that monkey spirit in you.
I got it. The monkey's in me.
You know,
We need it. We need to clip that.
We've
one
heard
out.
that about you.
You got to clip that out for sure. I'm gonna need that clip. Hey, also before we get going, make sure you check out the rest of our amazing sponsors. Go to onlyfans.com/furyfighting. Subscribe today for free. Make sure you check out Space City Collective, the best place to get the freshest gear. Man, look, I got them bread 11s on today, baby. Got them Yeezys over there.
Oh,
You
don't-
got
don't-
those dude shoes.
yeah,
on.
don't look at my
got
feet
the
today.
daddy.
Those wearing some chunklets he found outside.
Daddy.
We've got.
Yeah, he said I got that monkey in me.
Make sure you check out Sheath Underwear. Get your balls right with Sheath Underwear.
Yep. Trojan, protect yourself
I know.
at all
They're
times.
not a sponsor.
Kimura,
coming.
hey,
Are they?
They're coming.
Kimura
Hey,
Tattoo Company.
no pun intended.
Shout out to Ronnie Barley over there. Gave out another $500
Trojan,
award
protect
this
yourself
weekend.
at all times.
Man, I need to go out there and get tatted up by Ronnie. I keep.
You need to go get Trojan
Let's go.
sponsored.
Let's go.
You ready to go?
Let's
Tego
do
is
it,
going to
man.
get drunk already. We're going to take him
Wow,
straight to
dude.
the-
Yeah.
Huh?
Full sleep.
Nah, I can't do that.
Hey, right there. You get that Fury.
Right?
Fury gang. Right there on the neck.
Just get you a heart right here.
Yeah.
Right here, bro.
Hey, but thank you.
Make me a Fury employee full time. I'll put it.
Also, thank you to our new sponsor, Live Oak
80K a
Vodka. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. We appreciate all of you very much.
You haven't gotten their shipment yet, have you? We're still on whiskey.
Not yet. As soon as we get it in, we'll have an.
I'm not much of a vodka guy, but I look forward to trying their product for sure.
I know vodka. I like it.
Oh, we're
I like
we're
my
gonna
Cape
throw down.
Cods. I like some Cape Cods.
You say Cade's cock?
Cape,
What did you?
Cape Cod.
Cape. Okay. All right.
Cape Cod.
And hey, they're not a sponsor yet. But hey, shout out to Heavy Metal Racket for the sweet gear.
Friends of Fury. They're not sponsored, but they're Friends of Fury.
Friends of Fury. I keep stealing their stuff. whenever
And
I
if
see
you
it
like
come in.
apparel, I got Fury FC apparel. You guys can go onto their website.
FuryFC.tv.
Yeah, hey, make sure you guys go to furyfc.tv, and at the top of the page, you'll see a link to our actual shop, Fury FC Apparel. Goes over to mvpsportswear.com. All your gear you haven't even seen: sweatpants, beanies, gaiters. What's a gaiter? Oh, is that for the?
It's like summertime. Yeah. That's during COVID. The Gator's the thing that everybody wore.
They got stuff for women on there.
Didn't want
they got
didn't want to wear the
ladies'
mask.
tank tops, dry fit,
got,
hoodies. We got everything on there.
Condom logos.
Condom logos. Make sure you guys go out again, mvpsportswear.com. You can find the link just by going to furyfc.tv. But boys, this weekend we had a crazy amateur show. Fury's
did.
Amateur Series 50.
The 50. I feel like we should have hyped it up bigger. We should have a bigger party with
Should
that
have
or
been
something.
like 98.
Yeah, I know, but we're officially at number
People
50.
don't understand because we went through Cage Combat, and then every Fury card that we have amateurs on it is technically an amateur
Right.
series.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
different show separate to the state. So yeah,
So
I
we're
get you.
basically at we're probably over 100. 50 just sounded right.
Well, yeah, because officially counting, that's the number we're at.
Yeah.
Could have done some kind of bow tie anniversary party or something with it, but
When we hit Fury 100,
yeah,
That'd be nice.
we're gonna do something big.
Be
kick
nice.
ass.
Hawaii.
Oh yeah, nice,
Puerto Rico.
man.
Puerto Rico.
Fight Pass flying us all out there.
Boricua.
Fury 100 will be either in Hawaii or Tulsa.
It makes
So,
sense.
I don't know, man. I feel like Hawaii would probably be more red tape than California.
It makes sense to have Fury 100 at home.
Yeah, for sure.
You celebrate that shit at your
You do 99 in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like you do the another big one, but yeah, you gotta be at home for a big one like that. Hey, main event: Hayden Bryars and Isaac Vasquez. Dude, that was a banger from start to finish. It's funny, that's a fight where, Eric and I don't really make predictions. I've seen that we're making the fights. We don't really make predictions publicly, but we do sit back and be like, hey man, I think this could happen or this could happen.
You go through the scenarios.
And, yeah, we were both wrong. Like we both picked different outcomes of the fights that happened during the fight, and then we both sat back and went, wow, these two kids are just getting after it. And how good did Hayden Bryars look at 135?
So calm, cool, collected.
Getting out of submissions, deep spots, and really just outworking and outpacing Isaac Vasquez, who was a tough.
He was tough.
Yeah, man, he got out of a couple of Hayden's guillotines. That's kind of his move.
It was really, really impressive on both sides to see that fight. Super exciting. And so now Hayden Bryars, officially the 135 champ. This should have been a defense for him. But it looks like he's got his weight under control.
He said it was easy. He said for sure it was easy. He said he's never going back to 125. I don't blame him.
He's what is he? 7 years old? Like he's so young.
He looks 7 years.
He's very young, so he's
got to
still
be what, 22 maybe?
Maybe, yeah. He's still growing into his body. He's still, developing that strength. So he's gonna get bigger.
He's talented, man.
Very, very talented. He's very patient. Like the patience you see in that demeanor that he carries himself. Very, very patient when it comes to Hayden. And as you watch him fight, he seems older. Like he seems like a guy who's had a ton of fights.
He's been in the game. Yeah, that's what me and Josh Alton were talking about, because that's like Josh's little protege. And he was like, dude, when I got this kid, he knew absolutely nothing. He's only been training probably for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And he knew nothing. And the way he's went from nothing to what he is now, he's a fucking champ.
Yeah.
He was our amateur champ too, right?
He was our 125 champ, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, our 125 champ, not amateur champ, but...
Speaking of the 125 title, Michael White defended his 125 title.
He looked good.
With a very dominant performance over James Ramon.
First round
Undefeated
TKO.
James Ramon.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah, that was, that was a very dominant performance from
James
Micah.
is super young still. I think he's 18 or 19 now. He's got a lot to learn. He came straight out of high school with his wrestling, and you can see that that's his go-to when he fights. He needs to work on his striking a little bit. I think this fight will help him evolve as a fighter. His dad messaged me last night, actually, asking how long he's suspended because he wants to go back immediately. They want to fight Joe Perez. That's the fight they want to do. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad fight.
we can make that fight in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a very good fight. 8-1 now, I think, is Michael White.
Yeah.
Like, he's done all he can do, I think, as an amateur. I think the problem for him moving forward, he's very similar to what guys like Vic and Sijin experienced. Size. Yeah. Like, I don't know how much more muscle he's pretty defined at his size.
I think somebody like Ross Thurwalker deserves that title shot.
Yeah.
At 125, the issue we're gonna have is Micah trains at Team Took, and Ross trains with Alyssa, and Alyssa's Travis's brown belt. So we're gonna fall into that place because they end up seeing each other on Tuesdays at Nogi class at Team Took, and they train with each other. So Micah's gonna have to move on in order for somebody like BT or Ross to get. But I did pitch Ross to BT this morning.
What did you think?
So they can fight.
What did you think about BT's performance this weekend?
I think he needs to pull the trigger. He's not really pulling the trigger. Yeah. Obviously, he had some weight issues. He missed weight. We had to switch fights up last minute at weigh-ins. He ended up with a totally different opponent.
I think that's
he's super athletic, man. Like the kid's athletic
such
as hell.
a concern for me because he's a lean fighter. He's very lean.
So maybe he needs to fight at 35.
And 25 just may be too much for his body because this isn't the first time he's struggled with this 25 cut.
Right. I mean, he's made it before.
He's made it, but remember one time he made it and he just looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And he's so lean. He's for me, he reminds me a lot of Josh Allimon. They both come from track and field. They're very lean,
You
very
can
explosive.
see how athletic and explosive
Yeah,
he is, man.
super. So one, maybe he doesn't need to cut down to be the bigger guy. Maybe if he can add a few pounds, he can get down to 35 instead. And listen, I hope. But again, this is what amateurs are for. He's learning. But once BT is secure in the fact of like that he's okay to be hit, he still kind of gets in and out of his combos very quickly. He throws his combo and he gets out. Once he's secure with that, like, man, I can be hit, it's fine.
You just bite down on that
is
mouthpiece.
so fast. And so that flying knee he hit, 2 fights back? Like that came out of nowhere. Like that kid is absolutely dynamite. And, I hope they kind of put together maybe 35 as the spot for him. Or maybe there's a change of lifestyle that leads to that few pound difference. I don't know. Again, I look at him and I see this kid who's so athletic, so lean. I don't know where that extra 5 pounds is going to come from.
Yeah.
So, but
That kid he fought was a gamer.
yeah, Jacob Martinez was very, very confident. Went out there and
He wants to fight again immediately too.
dude, we're so busy with all these.
They
guys.
hit me. All these dudes hit me up, and they're like, "Hey, I'm ready to go back."
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, also in the card, this fight got put together last minute, but was probably the most anticipated fight on the card. Damian Aronde and Joe Hendershot.
Yes.
Fight that lived up to the hype, I felt like.
Man,
Damien had a super dominant first round.
the first round was I wouldn't say a 10-8 round because there wasn't a lot of damage done, but it was very easily a Damon Aronde
Yes.
round. And honestly, the beginning of the second round, he came out, he landed a big overhand right on Joe. And the way he took Joe down in the first round, you didn't really see Joe try to wrestle after that. And to be fair, the only time I've really seen Joe really honestly wrestle hard, he wrestled against Chris Castillo and he wrestled against not Brian James. It was another guy he wrestled against. But for the most part, Joe has been out there like letting his hands go and throwing. And when that takedown came from Aronde, I think was surprised everybody how easily he got that takedown in the first round on Joe. Joe's a very good wrestler. But Joe survived having, I don't know how many championships Aronde has won as brown and black and purple.
Yeah.
Survived with him on his back with face cranks and everything that he was trying to finish him with. And man, big credit to Joe Hendershot and his team for being super prepared for that situation.
I'm sure they went over that over and over and over again.
So
No disrespect or to discredit the winner thing, but I felt like it was stopped a little early. But it is an amateur fight, so
agree.
understandable. But like whenever the referee stepped in and stopped it, a lot of those blows were landing on Damian's shoulders, his traps. They weren't landing on the head. So I mean, they weren't inflicting any damage. I didn't feel like I felt like it could have gone a little bit longer. Put it like
So,
that.
too.
as far as the first round, I see. So I'm on that side where most of Hendershot's family and fans.
Sure.
They look worried.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he got backpacked for the last minute and a half of the
Yeah,
round.
you got Damien on your back. You know things are not going to be good.
But I can tell you, I'm always looking, as I'm taking pictures, I'm looking for the reaction of the fighter who didn't win the round, how they get up. Like, what's their mentality look like? Joe was smiling, and he looked like he achieved something. And honestly, he did. He just survived.
No
and
doubt.
He probably proved to himself that, hey, man, I'm okay down there.
Fucking awesome.
It's going to be okay.
World class elite level grappler.
And the way he came out and he dropped Aronde, I don't remember if it was a left hand. I think it might have been a right. Dropped Aronde, and that scramble quickly to Aronde's back. Like he got to Damian's back fast. And again, was it stopped early? It's hard to say. It's amateurs.
amateur, yeah.
You never know with the refs. We had some new refs this time, some refs who were building experience. And I can tell you there was a fight earlier in the night where a kid was mounted and took a pounding for over a minute, and the fight didn't stop. Joe took Aronde's back and threw like maybe 7 punches, and they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I do think it's amateurs. You either have to survive quickly.
Err on the side of
you have to
caution.
survive quickly in that spot and move on because look, you're not getting paid for
Yeah.
this.
So with that, Derek Pierce was pretty pissed off about him stopping.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. That one seemed like he was headed to nowhere. I don't know if he was going to get out of that.
so
We don't want these dudes to take damage for no
Right,
reason,
right,
you know.
right. Yeah.
So there's some you
But he
can
was-
argue and there's some you can't. He was pissed.
He was pissed.
his was also, I think, a culmination of bad spots.
Yeah.
If you go back and rewatch that fight, I missed some of this fight because I was getting Devin ready to fight. So, but from what I saw, Derek spent a lot of his time on his back and trying to escape positions and getting hit a lot.
He looks stuck down there, like he doesn't know what
listen,
to do
that-
to get out of
One
that
of 'em, I
position,
heard
right?
him.
Yeah.
Look,
I think Danielle was refing that fight, and we
final
talked about
shots,
that.
if
He
you
was
ever
like,
hear
it's
something?
like, yes, he was like, it's like dude, that's a verbal submission.
If you're mounted and you're getting pounded on, you have to. There's two things. You know, I used to run into this problem with Sidgen all the time because he was so little.
Getting pounded?
Yeah, he would get pounded, and then he'd go to a
Sidgen.
fight and get pounded too, right? So, and we had to come
But
up.
I heard he pounds.
We had to drill it in his head and his rear that you're going to have to take some shots. You can't just cover up. You got to take some shots to try and push down, at least get to your half guard,
Right.
to create something.
Yeah.
If you just sit there with your hands up, even though you may be blocking some shots, visually it's terrible. You're getting pounded on, and they're going to stop.
They're
the
going to
fight.
stop it, yeah.
And hey, before we move on, shout out to Danielle. Is it Guevara? Am I saying her
Yeah,
name
Danielle
right?
Guevara,
He did
yeah.
a great job.
She did
Awesome job.
I think
Awesome.
she's the
Great job.
only Fury fighter to now ref Fury matches.
The only
She's the only
was
female.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
she's our
She was
second.
she
We
was
had
on
one in
it.
San Antonio
the
back early
only
on.
complaint I have wasn't
I do.
necessarily
We'll talk
about,
after the
about
podcast.
Danielle. The complaint was who they had her with like the biggest guys on the card instead of like listen.
Yeah,
if it came down
like the
to
flyweights or the
could she
bantamweights?
pull off the heavyweights off of each other like Pineda and Muschetti? Yeah, listen. I mean, no disrespect to
great
her.
fight, too.
She done an amazing job.
Yeah.
But as whoever is setting up aligning the fight, should you not look at I have this size ref, they need to be
should've
with
had, like,
this
the
size.
flyweights, right?
Yes, that would make more sense. But again, she was fantastic. She
Awesome.
called everything the way she could. She was
Yes.
confident in her
Yes.
decisions.
I saw that. Yes.
And
Very confident.
even with Derek
Yes.
getting upset and yelling at her, didn't care.
Didn't care.
Like, and
She said, "No."
yeah, applause.
Shut that shit down.
Applause to her. Also, hey, before we get going, also Joe Matos and Rafael Garcia. I missed most
Joao.
of that fight. Yeah, him too. I missed most of that fight.
Dude, so Rafael Garcia took that fight on a week's notice, came up from 145 to do a catch weight of 150. Matos was supposed to fight at 55, dropped the 5 extra pounds, and made it pretty easy. I told him at weigh-ins, I was like, man, you need to be a 45. He's like, I'm going to work on it. But it was black belt versus kickboxer. And the kickboxer knocked him out.
Yeah,
Head kick.
16 seconds in round number 2.
Head kick, right?
Yeah.
That was close to him being on the ground. Like he was. The replay I saw.
I saw that too. I
he
wish I
was-
could see it right now.
He was kind of coming up off one knee.
That's why after I saw it, I was like, damn, was
Courtesy
he
of
down?
Texas Gulf Coast Sports TV.
You know what?
Replay.
But he wasn't down, right?
I thought
Well,
maybe
Matos didn't argue it.
He
And
didn't?
neither did his team.
Well, it was hard to argue when you're knocked out too.
Well, his
So-
team, if his
so-
team thought that he was on a knee or something, they would have said something.
I think it was super close. I think I don't think the ref made the wrong decision. Like let me be clear.
Yeah,
that
not
I'm
at
saying
all.
that. I don't think that there was a wrong decision there.
Well, anyways, I'm bringing Rafael Garcia back. I already got him booked for 8:20. Breaking news.
I'm gonna pull this up so we
Breaking
can watch
news.
this live.
Hey, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Dun, dun, dun,
Breaking
dun, dun,
news.
dun, dun, dun.
Let's see here. Who is the next fight on the card?
Marat Terlibakov and Eduardo Gonzalez.
Listen, Marat is one of my favorite guys.
Yeah,
Like, he is
right.
one of my favorite guys.
He's been on a number of Submission Hunter Pro cards for us. We all love Marat.
His debut amateur MMA fight, amazing. Now he's come back to 2 losses, both TKOs. Well, one was a KO from him. I thought he was winning that fight, then he looked at the
He
ref.
looked and talked to the ref, and yeah,
got
he
clipped,
paid
okay.
for it. But this one,
So I figured he learned, but this one he just got worked.
yeah, it was tough to watch at times.
Now he fought Eduardo Gonzalez at a Metro Fight Club. The dude made his debut, correct? First
Yeah.
fight?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Bob and them
All right.
told me he was going to be a problem. The kid was a fucking problem.
Lived up to his word.
I've got the Matos and Garcia fight pulled up here. Let's check this out. This is the last few seconds. Let's see what everybody thinks about this here. This will be entertaining for the fans who can't see what's
the
happening.
second round?
Yeah, you need to put this on the podcast.
Yeah,
This
you
is
need to intersplice
This
this.
is at 2:02.
Clip
Let's
this in
say
here.
2
Clip this
minutes, 2 hours and 3 minutes into the fight
event.
into the fight itself.
Right.
And at 40
is my second.
Got none.
and at 40 minutes,
Me too.
40 minutes of our actual show.
See, this is what happens whenever Eric's not drinking. He gets Diego hammered.
Now he's drinking for me. Put his
Clearly.
Shit.
Clearly.
I'll be in the strip club in a little bit.
Hey, don't say that, Diego.
All right. All right, here we go.
I'm joking.
That was joke. The character. The character Diego is going to the
Massage
strip
parlor,
club.
we believe. Strip
Yeah,
club, we don't.
strip club. All right, here we go. Y'all ready?
Let's see.
Both fighters look comfortable now.
Is that Diego? Is that
Yeah, a little more
Diego?
movement
Diego
from
on the
Garcia as
commentary?
well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you see a little bouncing in this corner there. It looks to be settled into and relaxed into the fight.
Watch
Ooh,
as he
big
gets
right
up
hand
here.
there from Garcia. Decides to let him back up. Ooh, big knee, and that's going to do it.
So it's so close.
That's gonna
so close,
do it, yeah.
but this is the rule. So as
There's no replay?
I don't think there was. Hang on, let me see.
Audio so we can not get copyright.
Justice Torres in the corner there.
Let me see if there's a replay here.
Another friend of Fury.
I don't recall
remember.
us doing replays.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, man, I was drinking too. There it is. So he's getting back up after this next sequence here, and he's shooting. So,
And his knee touches.
but the knee is on the ground,
Yeah.
but he is shooting in.
Exactly.
Which
Well, the other, he only, if you have one knee down,
yeah, anything beside the balls of your feet, anything beside your feet is considered a down opponent. Not balls on your feet, Diego. Relax.
That's the Leggett pour right there. I gave you the Leggett pour. Sorry.
But what
coke in there.
but what is happening right here? And so, hey, Ryan, the referee, did a
What's the matter, D?
a great
Come on,
job
man.
here, because what is stated is that you can't you can't kick a downed opponent, but he is shooting.
He's
for a
shooting.
takedown.
Yeah, he's shooting. It's a tough spot.
So his force is bringing him into it. So this is
so
perfectly
it was
legal.
shin to the neck.
Yeah, shin straight to the neck.
Where's the photo that you took of this?
I didn't take a picture of that one.
Thank you.
he was getting
I was busy.
he was getting his fighter ready.
I was busy.
He abandoned his photography duties for this fight.
He's not doing everything.
I bet you
So-
Mike Columbus would have got that photo.
Ouch.
Other things to do. He's
Ouch.
probably available. Let's see here.
Not for Eric.
So,
it's a no
hey.
thanks to Eric.
That was we went Garcia, Krylikov. So then we had Noah Beatty and Devin Jones. Good fight. It was a fun fight. It was a little aggravating of a fight for me to watch. This was like Devin having his first fight all over again. You know, his first fight was only a minute, and then he breaks his hand in that fight. He's out for over a year with surgery on his hand, and so it was like a first fight coming out again. And I'm proud of him. He went out there and did what he's supposed to do. He let his hands go against Noah Beatty. Is so much better than his record.
Yeah,
he has fought some studs, and he's always in a fight. And
Thankfully, these are amateur fights, and that record really doesn't matter.
it doesn't, man. But shout out.
So as a going into pro, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
cut
go
you
ahead.
off. Would that make you much of a better fighter as far as going into pro?
It can. I mean,
Having taken those L's and learning those lessons at the amateur level, I think would probably benefit him.
as long as your team is going back and you're addressing the reasons
Yeah.
you took those L's, for sure. Like you can't win them all, you know, and eventually, if you fight long enough, you will lose. So, you know, take the tough fights in the amateurs. He's going to be a badass pro because the guys he's going to fight as a pro, some of these he's fighting just dogs out here. So, yeah, I think it helps you as long as you're addressing it. If you just fight tough dudes every time, but you don't address it and change anything, well, no. I mean, you should probably get a different team, you know. But if you're,
I've seen that though with
just let me
fighters.
bang, bro.
Let me bang, bro.
it does happen. There's teams out there who think that one system works for every fighter, and we're going to do it this way, and everybody that's not how it is.
Yeah.
It's not how it is.
Ask Ronda Rousey, right?
She made a pretty damn good life of. So you've got to you have to.
It catches up though if you don't
For
adapt.
sure, 1,000%. But you have to change your system to fit the fighters you have. You know, like I don't instruct any differently with like Aliman and Devin and Chris than I did with Sijin and Raul and those guys, you know, over 10 years ago. It's just we do things a little differently per person based off what they're good at, what skill sets they have, and how we can best get them into what fighting is very basic. It is very, very basic. You either stand up and you punch somebody or you try to take them down, punch them, or submit them. That's all of it. If you're a good wrestler, learn to box and use your hands. You can dictate where the fight goes. Stop worrying about if you have beautiful kicks. If you're a kickboxer, learn how to wrestle. Stop them from taking you down. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, learn how to wrestle so that you can take them down. So it doesn't have to be this, like, there's no secret technique. There's no secret technique that, like, Travis Took knows. He probably does fucking.
Yeah,
he probably
does.
He probably, but there's, you know what I'm saying? There's no like secret thing that makes Gym A better than Gym B. Besides, are you working hard? Is the fighter doing more outside of what they do in the gym than just showing up to class every week? And, you know, as coaches, are you constantly learning and adapting? So it doesn't have to be that hard. It's not that difficult, man. Go out there, keep your hands up, punch somebody, decide if you want to get punched or not.
Right. Yeah, Devin Jones picking up the TKO win. Congrats
TKO
to Devin. He had a little call out afterwards that
Dude,
he fumbled that so badly.
he kind of.
So let me explain. And he pissed off my buddy, and that's cool. But me and Alex talked about it afterwards. So
I think he's just in the name of being entertaining. I think he's just
100%.
trying to be entertaining.
So,
and if you haven't practiced that, it's tough. It's a tough crowd.
So Devin, well,
They booed him.
Yeah, but there was two things. There was two things that happened.
I heard that.
But he's okay with that. There's two things that happened.
Yeah.
One, Devin was exhausted after that fight.
No, he almost had to leave in the ambulance.
He had a little bit of a concussion, and they tried to send him out in an ambulance. He just needed to calm down, get some fluids in him, throw up a little bit, and relax. You know, like he was so
Kind of like Diego after the show today.
which he made me. I was proud of him because the second round, dude, he had nothing. He was so tired that because he had that adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
You get out there and you see him.
He did a lot in the first round.
You see him as
he
was
was swinging
out,
for the fences.
He's super confident. You know, he coming out to I'm sexy and shit. You know,
Right.
He has a character he's developing.
Right.
And Wayne, as you know, probably better than anybody, you have to develop that gimmick, that character. People got to love you or they got to hate you.
One or the other.
You got to make.
It doesn't
a
matter
choice.
which, and you got to embrace it.
And
own it. And Devin definitely does. I know for a fact that Devin does not care if he gets booed.
does not. He does not.
As he should not.
Devin very much is moving into the role of like MJF.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be the like, listen, I'm better than you. I look better than you.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
so me and him, we were talking this week, and I knew he was going to call out Joe Hendershot.
Right.
He wanted to call out Joe Hendershot because Hendershot beat his teammate Chris Castillo. That's he doesn't care about Joe. He just wants to be the guy who beat his friend. And so he goes, man, Alex is going to be doing the interview, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's going to be weird. I said, probably. Like you have to run that risk. That's okay. Like you say what you have to say. Don't be disrespectful. But say what you have to say. And we talked about
he in the moment with the concussion and everything, he misremembered that conversation.
Dude, I played him.
Rich said, be disrespectful.
Yeah. I played him clips of like superstar Billy Graham. We went back and we worked with Chael Sonnen.
Billy Graham, ain't that?
Yeah. No, not different.
Not that one.
So we
R.I.P.
talked about
superstar.
the one thing that like Connor
Graham
and Chael
loves
and
Jesus.
all these guys have in common is the pace of their cadence. And it's not this run-on sentence.
Yeah.
There's a pace. There's a timing.
You got to let it breathe. You got to lay out.
Marinate a little bit.
Yep.
You say the words. Devin was so tired that when Alex asked him that first question, Devin didn't hear it. He was trying not to throw up in the cage. And he looked back and goes, I don't know how sure what you said, but there's a...
Yeah.
And he goes...
Basically, fuck your question. I got something I want to say.
And immediately he gets out there and he texts me after he's upstairs. He's like, man, I messed that all up. Then I'm like, a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like...
That's all good.
You know, to credit, like Alex was like, listen, my guy fights in a few minutes. I don't want to, get him worried or upset or whatever. But me and Alex talked afterwards also. And Alex knows MMA better than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy's lived it his entire
His
life.
fight IQ is insane, man.
So So he knows what Devin was trying to do. We talked about. I said Devin knows they got to love him or hate him. And Alex, I also said flat out. He's like, I get it. He goes, I didn't like the timing, but that's on Alex. That's on Alex. And that's Alex's personal opinion.
And I think he tried to advise him.
He did. Alex, I thought Alex was going to smack him.
Yeah. The look on his face, it was like, let me swallow this down real quick.
Hey,
that's probably not going to happen.
Shout out to Alex. And look, to be fair, Joe's 4-1 looking for a title shot.
Yeah, they're in different places.
Devin's 2-0.
Respectfully, yeah.
Devin's just trying to make a name. Do I think Devin should fight Joe Hendershot next as his coach? Not really. Like, I don't think he needs that fight. I'm trying to build him.
Right.
You know, that's a tough fight. Do I believe that Devin would win that fight as his coach? You're damn right I think he's going to win that fight. Of course. But I don't think it's time. I don't think it's time for that. I think Joe Hendershot needs to go and get a look to get a title shot, whether it's I can't call him Snitsky, Kinski, or rematch with Brian James. Like, I think Joe's earned the right to kind of get in there and be the
Brian
third.
James would probably be the guy because Kinski trains over there with them.
It would, but that would be the third guy from our Gorilla Mob like group to do it. I mean, you've still got Todd Rank out there too. Like if they didn't train together, maybe we take the four of them and figure out something with that.
It's Toe Drink. He'll get on to me if I don't correct you guys.
But
Cutthroat Kyle Toe
shout
Drink.
out to Devin Jones and again thank you to Alex for understanding what this a young
Devin
kid.
and Kinski would be pretty good.
They're same affiliate.
Well, Kinski's actually trained under Joel.
I'd have we try to avoid it. We try to avoid we do try to avoid it because they cross train, but Jeremy and I always talk about it and figure it out, and maybe who knows? I mean, we were going to do
amateurs, I would say.
We were going to do Vic and somebody. What was one of our affiliates? I forget who.
Pacheco.
Yeah. So, hey, speaking of title fights coming up, Martin Pineda punching his ticket to a 205 title fight with his just fun fight, man, against Aaron Mesquetti.
Yeah, Mesquite. It's Aaron Mesquite. But
Eric
Eric had us all messed up on a couple of names this go around. But yeah, man, Martin Pineda getting the tap out at 210 in the third round with a Kimura. I looked away for a second and the fight was over. I'm like, dude, what happened, man? So when found out he had a Kimura, they were like standing and banging and all that. So, I mean, for it to end on the ground in a Kimura, it was
gave him to 185.
pretty surprising, but not surprising because he's Victor Pose's dark side guy.
I know who I want to see him against. James Ford. Him and James Ford, man, for the 205 title. Could you imagine him and Philippe at 185?
It better happen quick at 205.
Philippe is 185 and 205 champ right now.
It better be quick if you want to do it at 205 because Pineda's talking about going down to like middleweight and then 170.
I know. Look,
Felipe is the fight for him at 205.
Martin Pineda is he's one of the nicest kids. Like he's super respectful.
And the kid's got a crowd.
He's got a crowd, but also he's
Follows
got this
him around.
He's got this like happy energy about him.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, I really enjoy. And man, honestly, look, a lot of the dark side guys do. You know, Vic gets kind of shit on sometimes for being a leg lock only gym or whatever, no-gi only gym. He's got some great guys out of there, like some great guys competed on Sub Hunter, competed at Fury. But Martin Pineda, man, that dude, I don't know, just something about him. I like hanging out and seeing the kid, man.
Same.
So he gets that next 205 title.
He's got that Cameron Smotherman appeal. He's
like
likable.
Maybe 185. We figure out where he puts him. We already talked about Ayin Varela.
Ayin and Derek Pierce, yeah.
Derek Pierce, controversial in the eyes of Derek Pierce, but I don't think it was that controversial. Again, it's amateurs, a good stoppage.
He was living.
He usually is, man. Hey,
He's got a lot of energy.
I get it. I understand. He's passionate. Nobody wants to lose and all that. And he's right in front of Eric. I think part of that is like he's trying to sell to Eric, like, oh man, please bring me back. Bring me back for one more.
Oh,
he's coming back.
He's coming back. He'll be on the 9-1 card, I'm sure.
He's coming back.
Shout out to Varela, great job. Ethan Perales and Jonathan Kinski, what a fun fight.
That was a great fight.
You know, the first round, it looked like Kinski was just going to steamroll Perales. Like, he really took it to him that first round. And I don't know, maybe it's just feeling it out for Perales, but second.
This was that kid's first time coming to 45, and he didn't make weight. What was his weight, Wayne?
Oh, 50.
Perales?
148.2.
For a 45.
Yeah.
He fought his debut with us in San Antonio at 55.
He was fun. He was a fun fight to watch. Congratulations to Kinski. Emmett Epperson absolutely steamrolled Chance Luling.
Llewellyn.
Chance wants to come back, too.
He should maybe go to 25.
That was at 35.
Yeah, I was at 35. I think 125 might be a better
I
look
think
for him too.
He looked so small compared to Epperson.
Yeah.
And then Drew Lopez with the great victory over Paul Wilson, arm triangle. I think.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Those Wilson boys, man. 3 of them.
Are they like white Diaz brothers?
That's how they are.
Like
right?
that's how they look.
But Josh doesn't act like that. The oldest one, the pro.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Josh
right.
is very like.
Hey,
shake your hand.
and again, there is nothing wrong with having a character. Because didn't that kid have long hair before? Like he had longer, scraggly hair. And now he's got the shaved head.
He's got that fucking
Faux
American
tattoo.
history.
And we didn't even book that in a match, like a hair versus hair.
I would do that.
Mullet
I know,
versus
right? Yeah.
be great.
The loser has to shave his head. Why don't we do some gimmick fights?
That
here?
has-
Somebody do that.
That's
Chris and Joe.
Chris and Joe, yeah. And
And
Chris
then-
cut his hair.
But it wasn't advertised as such. We need
No,
to
we will
sell
advertising
tickets with it.
So that was Fury Amateur Series 50. Again, it's probably like 150 amateur series at this point, but it was super fun. Up next,
Doing an all amateur card is like it's totally different.
yeah,
It's totally different. It's so
Why?
laid back.
Why?
Because I don't have to sit cage side all night.
you
if I
don't sit
want
cage
to.
side. You don't
You're
have
not
to dress
writing
up.
you're not writing checks to every guy.
You're not dressed up.
Like,
You're not.
you
You're
don't
not.
have to dress up.
Honestly, another thing, we're not on the mic all night and texting with production and going with Fight Pass.
It's a much more laid back vibe.
It's way more laid back.
You know,
How did it look though?
it looked
great.
Look, hey,
The
great
production
job.
is Fight Pass quality
100%.
production, of course. but
100%.
We don't.
Yeah,
cut
you
corners.
come a long way, Diego. I'll give you your
We'll cut
flowers.
corners.
But also, like during the night, we're messaging with the Fight Pass team. I'm messaging with the guys, the writers at Fight Pass to get stuff set up to move. So there's a lot going on during Fury shows. So it is a nice change of pace. Like I can run back and work with a fighter and come back. And I got,
I saw that how passionate you were as far as Devin was coming out. Like you were like way into that.
But if you look at
hard, man.
if you look at the card, still there's still quality fights.
yes.
On there of guys that are, and this is something that bothers me, man. Like, you got these guys, like all those guys at the end of the card were deserving of a title fight.
100%.
But then you see guys fighting for belts at other promotions, and they're like
Upside down records. And
just for a belt. Like,
I think there's two things to that though. One, the amateurs with the best records are probably already fighting for us. So the pickings are a little slim for these other organizations.
well, it just doesn't.
But there's also
help us.
some fighters who maybe they know they're not going to win a belt at Fury because of the competition. So they go to a honestly lesser than promotion.
But I want to see another promotion build talent,
Love to.
and then it comes here because it does nothing for us if these guys are getting belts and
But
then
it's
they
not
come
going to
here and
happen
they
in
get
Houston.
washed. You know?
We do too many shows in Houston for
But
someone
we
else to build
fly a
talent.
ton of these guys in too. We got a lot
We
of
do.
out of town guys on this card.
We do. But again, with the number of shows that who else does as many just amateur shows that we do? Nobody.
Well, what needs to happen is these other promotions need to start bringing in out of town
Wayne,
guys.
let's Wayne, new promotion idea. We're going to start a heels only promotion.
Boom. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
We're gonna
all
have,
in.
We'll have ring card dudes.
Ooh,
And
no.
we're gonna use.
We'll call them the boners.
We're gonna. Diego will get us all the spa sponsorships.
Boner boy Hank with the round
But
cards.
seriously, like if we can't see other Amis coming up in other places, how are we supposed to put more guys into the pro ranks? And
Well, we're very fortunate to be in Houston.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
have the number of gyms that we have. And honestly, with most promotions, we have a good relationship. Like we're talking about going out to Paradigm this weekend and check out their show and be there and support. I think that's something that people kind of forget, that like we don't want to go out to Paradigm to like scout them out and make fun of them or see what they're doing.
Right,
Man,
no.
I want to go support Reed. It's cool to see him
100%.
building cards and bringing another place for talent to go
well,
and
we
fight.
sent Karan Reed over there.
Yeah.
We
Cyron.
sent Anthony Ivy.
Yeah.
Juan Adams. I think Gino Morelli's on the card.
Is Juan still fighting this weekend?
Fighting for the title.
Okay. I didn't know if that one fell off. I knew the
he's-
Ivy match
in
isn't
there.
happening, but
So, like, we want to support these other promotions.
Anthony Ivy?
I'm thinking of
Dimitri.
the one we
Dimitri.
were talking about last week. Yeah,
Yeah, no, Anthony Ivy's fighting
Scratch.
this weekend.
Oh, that was the.
Yeah,
that was the
That's
lead
another
card.
organization. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's another thing. I mean,
I was trying to just jump past that. Yeah.
if you're running a pro organization, maybe they don't want to do it like us. Maybe it's all about making money. Like
Yeah.
everybody wants to make money.
Sure.
100%.
You know, of course
man.
you want. If it doesn't make money, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
But Do you want to just make money or do you want to build talent? Do you want to try and send the best guys to the UFC? No offense, but that card had a headlining card, and the UFC is not ever going to look at either one of those guys
No,
for that fought in that main event. Now, was it a good, exciting fight? Probably. But that would be like a main card opener, maybe? Middle of the main card? Because I know Campos will throw.
It's hard. I think it's hard sometimes because I know I look at other promotions' cards through the eyes of what we would do, and when I see their cards, I think, well, why? Like, what is this garbage? Basically, that like you have at the top, but then when I step back, I'm like, well, their pickings are pretty slim. Unless they are going to listen, if you're a top anything fighter in the state of Texas, you're probably signed to Fury,
right?
And now if you're not, there's probably a reason. Whether that's your record isn't quite there, maybe you're too young in your career, which is really,
or you don't want to fight tough people,
or you don't want to fight tough people, or you're older in your career and you know the UFC is no longer your goal. Okay, that's fine. We're not the place for everyone, but we are the place for young, upcoming talent that want to go to the UFC. And even like, no one's goal is to go to the PFL. That's not anybody's goal. But eventually, it becomes I can go there and make some money.
It becomes a reasonable destination for the payoff.
We're good with that too.
Yeah.
We're good with if we can help get you some wins to get you over to the PFL to make some good money. We're not opposed to that. Like, you want to come, you're going to fight tough people? Like, there's no easy fights. Like, when you look at this card we have coming up on 625, first of all, it's probably the best card we've done. And I know we say this every 2 months. But damn it, it's
it
real.
really is. Oh my God,
it's real.
The
it's
talent
real.
on this card is insane.
It's constantly like when I look at these cards. There's times I look at these cards, I'm like, damn, Eric's added himself again. What the hell? When I got on here, there was one fight. Now there's 19 fights, and I'm like, all right. Well, all right, shit, they're all done, but damn, this is going to be an exciting card. And then we fill in some shit behind that.
Yeah.
You know, but listen.
Well, yesterday, to Rich's credit, I messaged him in the morning. I was like, man, I'm not feeling good, but there's 2 spots on the card for 820 that got to be filled, a 55er and a 70er.
And he put today.
And I put today in an exclamation mark. And then last night he texted me, hey, here's the 2 guys that are stepping in. It's like, cool, man.
It's
Craigslist for the win.
And they're both local guys.
They're both local good guys.
Kick ass.
Yeah, it's just what we do, man. We work well together on that side of it. But when you look at our cards, top to bottom, studs. There's studs all the way across. Just this amateur card, I'm telling you right now.
That's a great card.
When you look at this amateur card that we just did, I would say 4 people on this card will be in the UFC at minimum.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like good pros.
Yeah.
I mean they will be in the UFC. They'll be fighting on the national.
And four is conservative.
Conservative.
That's a conservative estimate.
100%.
Now, if you look at the 625 card, I will say 4 to 6 of those guys will probably be in the UFC in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
It could be 2 months after. I think a couple of them are going to get picked up on Contender Series.
They very well could. Just ask Jesse Butler.
Man,
It's that, yeah.
I'm so happy for that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, man.
We're gonna quickly run down 625. We're not gonna get too far in depth since we'll break it down a little
Now,
bit
we just
more.
did an all amateur card. 625 is all pro. No Amis.
Listen to this card again.
As much as I said this, I love the Ami cards, and it's so laid back. This one I'm gonna be.
Rich is about to
stuck.
break it down, but man, I cannot wait for this main event on 625.
So next week we will break down the card a little bit like fight by fight. But look, 125 titles on the line. Albert Trujillo and taking on Josh Homeboy, Josh Walker, looking to see who'll be the next guy to replace Josh Van. Josh Van giving up the title as it goes out to Contender Series.
7-1 versus 8-2.
Whew.
That's going to be such a banger.
You talk about a banger, our co-main event. Leo Mana Martinez,
Making
Mana
his
Boy
Fury
is
FC
back,
return.
taking on super dangerous Felipe Efrain.
16-6 record. Felipe Efrain.
Feature fight of the night. You could pick any of these to be feature fight, but you know what we got? We got Yadier DeVale. Val? How the hell do you say it?
Yadier de Valle.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
I know you were.
I got this one though. Taking on Michael Aswell.
7-0
Yeah, you got that one down to
versus
Texas,
4.
kid. That could main
That's
event
a
this
crazy-
card as well.
that could
That's
be the main
another
event.
potential main eventer right there on
another,
any card.
Another main event. Matt Jones and Justice Torres.
Yeah.
Boom.
Jacob Silva and Joey Ezelia are going to try to murder each other.
Oh my
for the first
God,
battle.
I'm looking forward to that one too.
Takedown.
No takedowns in
Dude.
that fight. Cody Freeman, Peter Caballero, Casey Jones, Aaron Gomez, Justice Lamprez, Markel Maderos, and Gabe Macario, Tyreek Malvo, all on your main card.
How many
Top to
fights on
bottom,
the
the
main
main card. Oh my God, dude.
What's
Like
seven,
8?
minus 9?
8 or 9.
Eight.
It looks like 8 or 9
9
from
fights. That's a whole card,
Yeah,
and that's just the main card.
yeah, and we got 7
here. And
A's.
every one of
7
those
pros.
could
Those
be
are all
a main
pros.
event. And I'm not just bullshitting or trying to hype the card. Like each one of those are legitimately, they could be a main event on any
just
card.
main evented the Challenger Series card,
Exactly.
and now he's on the main card of the Fight Pass.
Hey, you want me to pour that for you, Diego?
Diego's over here throwing down.
Diego,
He almost choked on the last one I poured, so I'll lay you out on that one, man.
So
Yeah.
here we are. We are halfway. We're at the halfway point of this year. And I want to kind of just gauge everyone's opinion real quick on. You're gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Give me your so far through the year. Your fighter of the year. Who's done the most to be called the fighter of the year so far?
Nobody yet.
That's hard to say.
All right.
Hey,
I kind of laid out
makes it
last week with a pick for fight of the year. I wanted to reserve judgment. In hindsight, I'm going to go with Cam Smotherman, Peter Caballero. This is year-to-date fight
Amazing
of the
fight.
year. And I'm going to go with Cam Smotherman for fighter of the year so far.
I'll give mine. I'm not going to pick a Smotherman or a Van just because.
You think that's cheating?
I think
it's
it's
unfair
easy.
because
I
he got
think it's
called
easy.
up.
I think it's easy. They're
But
getting
they've
called
done the
up.
most.
'Cause they're gone.
But
Yeah.
they've done the most.
I think Michael Aswell,
Yes.
remaining undefeated, could be, and he had his biggest wins ever. this
Okay,
year.
well, if we're doing that, then Justice Torres.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm telling you,
All right.
I think my pick would probably be Michael Aswell. And then listen, he's not the fighter of the year, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. Vic Gonzalez with 4 straight
what?
victories. It's my dog.
Man,
True.
100%.
all of those are 20.
100%.
110%.
And I know you're his
Not
coach,
all of them.
but
I think 2
that's
of them are.
fair.
That's
That-
true.
That's fair.
How many times has Aswell fought this year?
Dude, let me see.
Him and
here.
Justice.
Let's see.
I was gonna say Isaac Moreno.
Isaac's
going-
wouldn't be wrong.
Isaac's going into his
absolutely,
third
man.
fight on July 16th.
Absolutely.
How
So
come he's not in a contender series?
Is he main
I
eventing
think-
that one?
yeah,
All
I
right.
think if he wins his July 16th fight, there's a possibility he's gone.
So this will be Aswell's second fight of the year.
Marketable.
I'm still
Great
taking
fighter.
him as
I'd like to see.
Aswell's evolved so much.
Dude.
I would like to see him one more time in Edinburgh. Down at
Isaac-
yes, at the Burdock Arena one more time before he gets called up. Just because that crowd is so live, they get so loud and so
loud.
hyped for him. Watching him do his walkout in there and watching the way the fans like clamor to the guardrail and they're all like trying to high five him. and
messaged
shit.
him
It's
this
like
morning.
watching old school pro wrestling, world class championship wrestling for me, man.
I
It's
messaged
just like
him this morning
it's
and I told
awesome.
him, man, you need to make sure everybody comes out to San Antonio because this could be it for you.
I wish I had my phone in the cage whenever that I was watching that walkout, man. It was like, wow, that's a shot right there. Next time I'll try to pull Rich down from his perch, like, dude, come get this shot.
Wait, which one?
In Edinburgh.
Moreno in Edinburgh doing his
dude.
walkout. I know you're down on the ground, like getting it, but like just through the cage door, watching him do his walkout is insane, man. I wish
so-
everybody could see it.
I want to say, yeah, man. So Justice and Isaac are both 2-0 heading into their third fight of the year.
Yeah.
Halfway through the year already.
That's I love it, man.
So I don't
That's
think
what you have to do to get noticed.
I don't think
that is what
you're
you have to
wrong
do.
picking any of those 3. I think if you pick
I like
Torres,
Markel Maderos too.
you,
Come on, man.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Man.
I
Markel
like
Maderos.
Markel Maderos too.
Yeah.
man, is he not? How fun is he to watch?
Very. We're gonna see him here in 2 weeks.
Is he on 625?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought you said that name.
So just think of those names that you're gonna see. 625.
Top to bottom, every match is a potential main event. You could headline any card with any of those fights, and they're all going to be on one card.
Any other promotion, but not Fury.
All right, hey, you guys got anything else this week? I know El Jefe's got a little bubbly guts over here. He didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Eric here. He's a little
Yeah,
under the
man.
weather.
He's getting us.
I work too much.
You know, whatever. I think you had some
Yeah,
you
whatever.
had some Tejano karaoke overload. Is what I
We got
think.
some work days
So,
coming up.
non-related MMA.
None.
Yeah.
Have you seen
up?
that Tiger Shark freaking?
Oh, the video of the guy
Yes.
getting eaten in the water.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Horrible.
I haven't seen that.
Let me
I
see it.
work.
I was eating
I work too much.
breakfast,
Yeah, I work too much.
and I
bro.
couldn't stop eating and watching it. That shit was amazing. Hang on. Keep
He
talking.
got
about it.
who got eaten? The man
Yes.
in the water?
Yes.
Yes. Right here.
Galveston.
No.
Diego got called out to that
Hey,
one.
I'm actually going to Galveston this weekend. Going to
Oh man,
Margaritaville.
dude. Why compared to Mexico, man? It's like going from ice cream to horse manure.
We're going.
Ugh.
We're going to Margaritaville Sunday.
Yeah, you know, you'll have fun, I'm sure, but
Hey,
That was hard.
you set the bar really high with all your
how you
trips
have
this
no-
year.
If Mickey's there, you gotta have fun.
Yeah, is Mick going also?
Mick is going.
Is he bringing Andrea?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be a party.
You can bring pets to
no,
Margaritaville?
no invite? What?
So I got invited by them, but I think like
I
Henzo's
lobbed it
having
up and you dunked it perfectly, brother.
Henzo's having like a 1 year anniversary for the Mount Bellevue.
Yeah.
And then I think they're all going to.
You gonna go to the 1 year anniversary?
No.
Let's go out there and see if we get promoted again.
We have a photo shoot.
Hey, just show up and get in line. Be like,
We have a photo shoot, and then
Yeah.
we have if we're going to Paradigm that night.
shit.
We got Submission Hunter Pro.
I'll talk
photo
to my wife
shoot.
and get a baby.
Wait till we break some Submission Hunter Pro news.
Man, wait till we break some podcast news, Submission Hunter Pro
Yeah.
news.
And we got a
Wait till
lot of big news
wait
coming,
till-
man.
wait
Y'all
till-
stay tuned.
Hey, you know we're gonna have to move our Tuesday shows coming up because we got Contender Series.
Oh yeah.
Well, we just committed to Tuesdays with DNA Studios for the podcast, so that's going to be an issue.
Well, we're gonna have to do
Every
some
other
Thursdays.
Tuesday.
Well,
Every
what's funny
other
is Rich is the guy that confirmed Tuesdays, and now he said we're going to change
Every
our
other
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Listen,
This
to be
is
fair,
what Rich does, man.
A lot of the time, someone says something I'm like, for sure, and then I'll go back later and figure out whether I can do that or not.
yeah.
Let me see this shark shit.
I just turned my computer off.
Okay, fuck it. You
Well,
couldn't
what the
find
hell,
it.
dude?
You
ADD
couldn't
much?
find it.
No, it's just it was
Oh,
there.
okay,
and then,
okay.
and
He went at
look,
it.
a dude gets eaten by.
All right. Yeah, apparently, there's a guy
Where?
getting eaten by a shark on the internet that's going
I
viral
saw it on
right
Derek
now.
Lewis's Instagram. Actually,
He's not safe. He's not okay.
yeah, that'd have been.
Where
perfect.
do you put that? I mean, where was it at?
I think it was Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Sharks in Egypt?
Far
So
from
the
Something
guy,
like
the
that.
guy
I'm calling it fake news.
he was Russian.
He was Russian.
They have deserts and pyramids in Egypt. Where's this fucking shark going to eat a man in
The
Egypt?
Suez Canal. That's about it.
Oh, Lord.
It's summertime over there, man. It's a drought.
What
Drought
you got?
conditions.
You guys got anything going on this summer?
God, I better plan a vacation quick, man.
taking care of kids. Yeah, we're about to go on a fucking run of shows. Starting with 8:20.
Mm-hmm.
We don't stop. I think.
Ugh, all right.
I think 8:20
Golly.
until after we're done with Denver. 10-1 every weekend. Fucking figure it out, Diego.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, 8:20 to
Diego,
10-1.
Should I
go get
retire?
all your massages with Bang Wang out of the way
Yep.
Ping Wing.
before you.
You
before
know that's
you,
where he's going right now.
Oh yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
him.
He's gonna go get some elbows in his back.
Is that you to do? Is that what you call them? Elbows in the back? Japanese. What
What's
do you
that
call it?
Filipino twist?
Hey,
Filipino
he's gonna tell her today. Hey, my friends were telling me about the Filipino twist. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, Ladyboy got you. No worries.
Hey,
Shout out to Mike Trent. I don't know why I thought I might turn.
Shout out to Mike Trent. I wish I was a Mike Seafood like.
you see me? I'm
down
still
the street,
drinking.
right?
I go eat right now, man. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Let's go eat. Hey guys.
Hey, bubble guts.
Oh.
Yeah, Eric can't eat
Hey,
anything.
listen.
Hey,
Hey,
I haven't eaten in 24 hours.
Hey,
Eric,
once again, hey, shout
gonna
out
look
to our
at food.
sponsors: Howler Whiskey, Space City Collective, Sheath Underwear,
Private label.
OnlyFans, private label bags,
Live Oak Vodka.
the Fury merchandise.
When's
Go to
Wayne gonna get a private
FuryFC.tv.
label bag?
Live Oak Vodka.
Don't you have a bag?
Man, I got all kinds of bags.
Yeah, Live Oak
I
vodka.
appreciate the
He's
cinnamon.
got a Louis
yeah.
Vuitton. He don't need no.
Dude,
Kimura
Marcus Loaded Pistol
Tattoo
just gave me
Company.
another bag
Hey,
at the
I'm ready
last
to get a
show. I'm
tattoo.
like,
Let's do it.
thank you very much. But it's like, man, I don't have enough shit to
All right,
fill all
all
these
right,
bags
Ronnie. We got to send Diego out there to get that Fury hookup.
Yeah, yeah.
On the
Kimura
ass
Tattoo
cheek.
in Conroe,
On the ass
Texas.
cheeks. He wants to
Where on
get
the ass cheek?
he wants to get
Yeah.
mom on his
Fury
ass
on the
cheeks.
ass cheek.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Nah, the Fury F right here underneath the eye.
Like this.
all right, Wayne. Let's do it.
Hey guys, I think the time for talk is over. This has been Fury Unleashed. Diego's feeling it.